Welcome back to the Real Story channel. Once upon a time, there was a village where a renowned cook named Aebi Besa lived. He owned a local food joint in the village, which was highly popular among the men. Besa's restaurant was always bustling with customers, as the men believed that he cooked the most delicious meals. People would even go to the extent of washing their own plates just to have a taste of Yesa's food. This led to many men refusing to eat their wives' food, as they compared it unfavorably to Yesa's. Naturally, this angered the women of the village, whose husbands stopped eating their meals. One day, the frustrated women gathered together to discuss the situation. They wanted their husbands to start eating their food again and deliberated on what they should do about Aebi Besa. One woman named Eduni suggested that instead of plotting against him, they should try to find out the secret behind his cooking. Another woman named Ola disagreed and proposed that they should focus on shutting down Yesa's restaurant. As long as it remained open, their husbands would never eat their food. The room filled with murmurs as the women struggled to agree on a course of action against Aebi Besa. However, all their husbands were currently at Yesa's restaurant, enjoying and praising his delicious meals. Eduni, determined to find a solution, suggested that they send a secret spy to work for Aebi Besa. She had heard that he was looking for a new plate washer since his previous one mysteriously disappeared. The women contemplated on who they should send, as Aebi Besa knew all of them and would be reluctant to employ any of them in his restaurant. Finally, one woman stepped forward and proposed that her recently arrived niece in the village would be the perfect spy. Since nobody knew her, she could infiltrate Yesa's restaurant without raising suspicion. The women rejoiced and celebrated their clever plan to uncover Aebi Besa's cooking secrets. The next day, the woman's niece named Aid discreetly applied for the position of a plate washer at Yesa's restaurant. Impressed by Aid's humility and unaware of her true intentions, Aebi Besa considered hiring her. Aebi Besa hired Aid without any hesitation. However, Aid soon noticed something peculiar about Aebi Besa. He instructed her to always enter the kitchen using the back entrance, warning her never to use the front entrance. He emphasized that she would regret disobeying this order. Aid felt skeptical about working for Aebi Besa but decided to accept the job as a plate washer. Throughout the day, Aid diligently washed plates at Yesa's restaurant, and she left late at night when all the customers had departed. After her first day of work, Aid returned home exhausted. Her aunt, eager to hear about her day, asked her, but Aid realized that she couldn't recall everything that had happened at the restaurant. This was unusual for Aid, who usually didn't forget things easily. The next day, Aid arrived at the restaurant with determination to uncover Yesa's secret recipe. She secretly observed Aebi Besa as she cooked, carefully noting down all the ingredients used. However, when Aid reached home in the evening, she couldn't remember anything that had transpired at the restaurant. Her aunt became furious, accusing Aid of siding with Aebi Besa and pretending not to remember. Aid tried to explain that she, too, was shocked by the situation, but her aunt found it hard to believe. One afternoon, a woman named Mama Yu stormed into the restaurant, filled with anger. Her husband had informed her of his decision to marry Aebi Besa, and Mama Yu came to confront Yesa. Unbeknownst to her, several other women also arrived at the restaurant, accusing Aebi Besa of attempting to take their husbands. The restaurant descended into chaos as the women confronted Yesa about the alleged affairs. However, Aebi Besa vehemently denied all accusations, stating that she had no interest in marrying anyone's husband. Amidst the commotion, Aid quietly observed Aebi Besa and noticed that she seemed unusually calm, as if she knew something that the others didn't. Aid decided to seize the opportunity to get to the bottom of what was happening. She carefully monitored when Aebi Besa left the kitchen and discreetly sneaked into Yesa's kitchen. However, instead of following Aebi Besa's instruction to enter the kitchen using her back, Aid disregarded the advice and walked in through the front entrance. To her surprise, Aid noticed something she had never seen before in the kitchen. The entire kitchen was stained with blood. She wondered where the blood could have come from. Just then, Ivy Baser entered the kitchen, revealing a blood-stained cloth hidden beneath her dress. Ivy Baser dipped the cloth, stained with blood, into her pot of food and began to stir continuously. After a few minutes, Ivy Baser removed the cloth, and Aid's mouth dropped open in shock. She had never imagined that Ivy Baser cooked her food using blood from her menstrual cycle. Despite her shock, Aid pretended not to notice what was happening. It dawned on her that Ivy Baser had been using dark powers to make her forget everything that occurred in the kitchen whenever she entered with her back. This was Ivy Baser's evil charm at work. However, the charm was broken when Aid defied Yasser's rule and entered the kitchen facing forward. Now, she was able to remember everything she saw. Aid felt extreme fear, worrying about what would happen if Ivy Baser discovered that she knew the secret. At this point, Aid couldn't wait to finish work and go tell her aunt everything she had witnessed in Yasser's kitchen. As night fell, Aid's heart raced with anxiety. She was afraid of the consequences if Ivy Baser realized that she possessed the knowledge of her secret behind the delicious meals. After finishing washing the plates, Aid decided to head home. Suddenly, she heard a sinister and malevolent laugh behind her. It was Ivy Baser, who blew a powdery substance on Aid's face. Hours later, Aid woke up in a strange room, screaming for help. She heard a faint voice of a young woman in the room asking if she was the new plate washer. Am responded affirmatively, saying yes to the woman. The woman then revealed that she was the previous plate washer who had been imprisoned for months. Am felt a chilling sensation run down her spine. Curious, she asked the woman why she had been locked away. The young woman disclosed that she had broken Yasser's only rule and discovered the secret behind the delicious meals. As a punishment, Yasser had locked her in the room and fed her an enchanted meal once a day, causing her to forget everything she had witnessed. However, once the young woman realized the effects of the meals on her memory, she stopped consuming them and secretly disposed of them to avoid raising suspicion from Yasser, who believed her memory had been wiped clean. Determined to escape, Am and the young woman, named Amina, devised a plan. They patiently waited for the opportune moment when Yasser was away from the house. Am and Amina used their combined strength to forcefully push against the door. However, they noticed that they started to feel weak. It turned out that Ivy Baser had anticipated their escape attempt and placed a powerful charm around the house to prevent anyone from getting out. The more they tried to reach the door, the weaker they became. Realizing they needed a different approach to break the enchantment, Am suddenly recalled her late father's final words to her. He had told her that whenever she found herself in trouble, she should call out his name 3 times, and he would come to her rescue. Am followed her father's advice and called out his name thrice. Instantly, she felt a surge of energy coursing through her body. With renewed strength, Am approached the door once again, and this time, the resistance of the charm significantly diminished, allowing her to open the door without succumbing to weakness. Am assisted Amina as they escaped into the night. Eventually, they arrived at Am's aunt's house. Aid and Am shared an audio recording, revealing Basira's wicked practices. The following morning, Aid's aunt, along with the women from the village, decided to confront Yasira and put an end to her evil deeds. Sensing that her secret had been exposed, Basira attempted to flee the village but was caught by the angry woman who demanded justice for the harm she had caused to the entire community. Basira, feeling powerless and defeated, confessed to her evil actions. She admitted to using her menstrual blood to enchant her food, making it irresistible to the men in the village. She also revealed that she locked away anyone who discovered her secret to maintain control over them. The women then brought the matter before the village elders, who condemned Basira for her wicked deeds. They questioned her motives, and Basira revealed that since her husband's death many years ago, she had envied the happily married women in the village. Unable to bear their happiness, she decided to use her food to bring strife to their families. Everyone was shocked as the elders banished Basira from the village forever. As Basira left, the men returned to their wives to apologize for their behavior. With Basira gone, the women of the village reclaimed their rightful place in their husbands' lives, and the bonds of family and community grew stronger. Everyone realized the importance of love, trust, and loyalty. The lesson to be learned from this story is that greed can lead to great evil. We should always be content with what we have and avoid engaging in wicked practices, as they ultimately backfire. It is important to appreciate the people that God has placed in our lives, because the grass is not always greener on the other side. Thank you for watching. See you in the next updated videos.